Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today, I'm going to explain the horror movie called Hereditary. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. Living with her psychiatrist husband Steve, their children Charlie, 13, and Peter, 16. The story revolves around live miniature artist Annie Graham. The film opens with Annie being shocked by the sheer number of people in attendance at the funeral of her reclusive mother, Ellen. In a bereavement support group she attended, Annie reveals that she always had a fraught relationship with her mother, not until her son, Charlie, was born that her mother became more involved in raising her. One day, Peter is invited to a party. Annie allows him to go, but insists that she should bring Chalire along. Charlie, who has a severe nut allergy, consumes chocolate cake at the celebration without Peter's supervision and suffers anaphylactic shock. Charlie, who is being driven to the hospital by Peter, leans out the window to get some fresh air, but gets struck by a telephone pole as Peter swerves to avoid a dead deer. Peter leaves Charlie's body in the car as he drives home in shock. Annie finds it the next morning. Following Charlie's passing, the family is torn apart. Peter withdraws and is tormented by guilt. Annie becomes enraged and resentful of Peter, and Steve tries to mediate a truce between the two. Joan in the support group becomes friends with Annie. Later that day, Annie persuades her family to try the séance after Joan teaches her how to conduct one in order to speak with Charlie. When Annie starts speaking in Charlie's terrified voice, things start to move and break, and Peter is terrified until Steve sprays water on her. Annie believes Charlie's spirit has turned evil as Peter starts to experience paranormal activity. When she finds drawings in Charlie's sketchbook that seem to threaten Peter, she tosses the book into the fire, but when she does so, her clothing catches fire and doesn't go out until she takes the book out of the flames. Even though Joan claims she didn't know Annie's mother, Annie digs through her mother's old possessions and discovers a photo album with images of Ellen and Joan together. It is revealed that Ellen is actually Queen Lee, the head of a coven. The demon king Paimon, according to a book Annie also finds, desires to possess the body of a male host, and the person who summoned Paimon will receive wealth and rewards. Later, Annie discovers Ellen's body and mysterious markings in the attic. Joan shows up as Peter is outside of his school and tries to separate his spirit from his body. He is controlled by an ominous power in class and bangs his head against the desk. Annie alerts Steve to her findings and begs him to destroy the sketchbook. Annie grabs the book and throws it into the fireplace after Steve accuses her of being ill, but as it burns, Steve bursts into flames. As Annie watches, Paimon takes control of her. Before being chased into the attic by a possessed Annie, Peter awakens to see his father's burned body by the fire and naked coven members inside the house. Peter watches Annie use a piano wire to cut off her head before jumping out the attic window to go. Paimon possessed Peter and Annie's decapitated corpse as he lay on the ground, and it levitated into Charlie's treehouse. Peter, who has since become possessed, follows his mother's corpse into the treehouse. There, he discovers Joan, other coven members, his mother and grandmother's headless bodies, and Charlie's crowned, decapitated head perched atop a doll. Peter is given the crown when Joan enters the scene. She refers to him as Charlie, takes an oath from him in the name of Paimon, and says that he is now free to rule the coven. Peter just looks straight ahead while the cult members sing, "Hail Paimon."